Hello, I am back with the conclusion for the Ask Elle and apparently Ask Light video, and we couldn't answer all of your questions because some of them weren't questions, but there were also a lot, so please don't be offended if we haven't answered your question, and we'll begin answering right now. My suspicions point to light yagami, but I don't really have enough evidence to prove it yet, so I need to keep working on the Kira case. I didn't really have a specific person in mind yet because they were both quite young, so really it would have been up to testing and also grades in school, but I'm thinking that Nier was the right choice. I'm not really sure, he just kind of up and left one day. I may have to look for him later. Because it increases my deductive reasoning. Yes, I actually would. He's a very good detective. By the way, where's Perry? I would have to say that I prefer classical music oftentimes over other genres, so I would say that Requiem by Mozart would be my favorite. Why do I have to choose? My guess is probably in the ground. He was killed by Kira. Yes, I like hanging out with Light-kun. He is my only friend. So yes, we do spend some time together, and it's enjoyable for me. I really have no idea where one would get that idea. I actually am not really a big fan of Misa Misa. It may come off that way, but it's really only for the best interest of the investigation. I would probably, if I'm only bringing one thing, I would bring a boat. Or a helicopter. I could probably fly a helicopter better, so I'd bring a helicopter.
You can't bring something to escape from the island.
Why not?
That defeats the purpose.
That was never stated. That was never stated in the question. If should I state something else?
Yes.
A lifetime supply of food. Because they reduce my deductive capabilities by 30%. No, but that isn't to say that I haven't thought about it. My lifestyle is a little bit inconvenient for dating, I would say. I haven't really tried, but I don't really think it would be a good idea. I have a feeling that my body would shut down, so I don't think that's really a very health-conscious choice to make. No, it really didn't, because Beyond Birthday was a very twisted individual, and his goals were quite pointless in my opinion, so I wouldn't say that that ever made me reconsider my position as a detective. I would probably have to say cake, because cake can be many different flavors. You can do many different things with cake, and they're all different. So yes, cake would be my universal answer. I do get cramps, but luckily there are a few different positions I use for sitting, so if I ever get a cramp I simply shift to a different position. Yes, I do sleep sometimes. Watari makes sure I sleep every 56 hours, I believe. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. It really depends on how much I've been working and how grueling the case has been. Who I ship? Well, it really depends on what series we're talking. From Death Note, I guess I would have to ship probably Matsuda and Sayu, because Matsuda has a bright future for him. You know, he's kind of dim-witted, but I could see it happening, I suppose. Light-kun is a very talented individual, and I think that he does have a very bright future ahead of him. I also am really concerned about, of course, the possibility that he could be Kira. I know that he is a practiced liar, I can tell. So, really what I wish for Light-kun is that he has a good future, and that he doesn't ruin it. Because again, as I said, he's very talented and has a good family, a good foundation for a bright future. So there are 3 different ways in which I sit. all three are acceptable, and it is recommended that you switch between the three. So the first is standard L position, in which your heels are not on the chair. So you balance on the balls of your feet, and really the key with this position is balance. You lean forward and you put the weight on your thighs, which gets tiring in the arch of your foot. So when the arches of your feet become tired, you flatten your feet, and you sit with your rear end lifted off the chair, and all of your weight is focused forward. And when you get tired of this position, which really strains your inner calves right here, then you simply put your rear end on the chair. And this is actually, I would consider this the most comfortable position, especially because most chairs aren't really wide this way. In this position, more of your weight is leaning towards your middle, which is why it's a lot more comfortable. Sometimes if you get a little tense in this position, you just go back to formation 1. I don't know if I'm choosing one or all three. Ice cream flavor, I would have to say I really like Moose Tracks because it has a perfect combination of chocolate to vanilla ratio. Drink, I would have to say tea with lots and lots of sugar, because that's always good for my deductive capabilities. And an animal? I would have to say some sort of rodent, because they scurry.
Sloth, maybe.
No, sloths are too slow. But also people don't really mess with them. I think I would want to be something a little bit faster. I don't know, maybe a raccoon. I think that in terms of evil, what I consider evil is murdering of the innocent. So I would have to say that Beyond Birthdays was the most evil because it was the most senseless. If you're familiar with the Beyond Birthday case, a child was murdered, and I think that is quite evil. So I would say that Beyond Birthdays murders were more generalized evil. I think I also have more sympathy for Beyond Birthday, because knowing his past and where he came from, being able to empathize with growing up in Whammy's house, I would have to say that it's much easier to at least empathize with Beyond Birthday, and also I consider him more mentally deranged than Kira, so I would have to say Beyond Birthday. Okay, now a lot of people seem to ask me this question if we're related. Beyond Birthday and I are not related. He actually looks nothing like me, really. He alters his appearance to look as I do. He puts on makeup and styles his hair and wears the same clothing. So before the murders, he actually did not look much like me. So we're not brothers, and I am in no way sexually attracted to Beyond Birthday. I've never really met him, actually. So I wouldn't say that. Well, I am afraid of monsters. There are many different types of monsters in the world. There are monsters who abduct children, monsters who devour dreams, and monsters who suck blood, but most of all, there are monsters who always tell lies. And lying monsters are the most terrifying of all, because they're the most cunning of all the monsters. They pose as humans, even though they do not understand the human heart. They study, though they have no interest in academics. And they eat, though they experience no hunger. They seek friendships, even though they do not understand love. If I were to ever be confronted by this sort of monster, I think I would be eaten alive, because the truth is, I am that monster. I usually have nightmares. I really think it's just a practiced habit. I'm not a germaphobe because I don't think that holding things just by these two fingers really eliminates any bacterial infection, because I'm always touching my mouth, so that would really be quite pointless. I think it's just a habit of mine. I tend to disregard where Lightgoon wants to go, and I just leave at any time, and he must follow me, so I don't really find it a nuisance. It's kind of nice to have the company. I don't know if you mean together as a couple or separately. I think Matsuda is an idiot, but he also is he's very irrational when he acts, but I kind of like that about him. He always makes a move when he feels like it, which is something I can't always really say about myself. And Misa Mane is very, very, very annoying. I never really decided to become a detective. I was in Whammy's house and he realized that I had a talent for finding and convicting criminals, so that's what I did. If I were to be in any other occupation, I don't really know. I could work in a bakery. Or maybe I could work in a hotel. That would be interesting. No. I think that if Nier is eating Transformers, we have a more serious problem. No. Yes, that would be fun. Maybe that will be my occupation instead. I'll be a ninja.